Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video, we are looking at ARM Holdings. It is time for another update. And in the case of this stock, I have been tracking this quite bullish pattern where I'm looking for an impulse to be currently in formation ever since it has proven itself with this massive move to the upside. So I am looking at this to build a larger 5-wave pattern. I am looking for this uptrend to continue for quite some time now. Previously, I have shared with you this opportunity, this yellow area of support, where we knew that as long as we wouldn't get a sustained break below $295, we could still favor continuation to higher prices. We could still expect, with decently high probabilities, another wave to the upside to form in a wave 5 of a larger wave 3. Well, this already seems to be en route to be building, and since the price has already left the support zone, the opportunity is not there from this time frame perspective any longer. But I do have a trade setup for you from the smaller time frame perspective, from the internal structure perspective. Now, before we actually head there, I did want to mention that this wave 5, I could see it build this week maybe. I would probably see it head into the next week as well, but primarily, what I would rather focus on than the timeline to actually build it. We are talking about days to weeks primarily, but instead of the timeline, I'm focused on the structure and the overall expectations I would have for such a wave to the upside. And given the lows I have within the wave 2 and the wave 4, I could very easily see it head towards $600, possibly surpassing it. But to be honest, I'm not too set on having it reach the upper boundary of this channel. I am looking for it to head towards this area because this would still be within a very internal wave 3, and it is common for the wave 5 to become a decently substantial move. Now, let's get to the actual opportunity here because I believe this move up is building an impulse which helps a lot in identifying reliable areas of support to track in a structure that I can actually trust. So I will be watching this idea of a series of 1-2 setups to have taken place here. And most recently, I would primarily consider that this as a wave 3 up would have just formed potentially a more substantial top. Well, in that scenario, I would be watching the levels of support between $401 down to $372. As long as we do not get a sustained break below the 50% retracement, I have to favor that this uptrend would still be standing strong. I have to favor that we will continue this move up within the idea of an impulse. So a dip below this area of support wouldn't necessarily impress me, wouldn't make me change my mind in terms of my expectations for this to actually work out, especially as it might dip only into the structural support we have here around $370, maybe even as low as $366. So I'm not necessarily looking for this setup to fail if it reaches, let's say, $365. Now, with that said, in terms of the expectations for this wave 4, if the wave 3 has indeed topped here, I would probably like for it to extend a bit more. It is a bit short for my preference in terms of the structure I'm tracking, where this would have been something like a 1-2. But I wouldn't be too set on that idea, especially as extensions are always possible, and it might be the case that this wave 3 has never actually formed the top, that it would see even further extensions, possibly within something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I am not here to do predictions within extremely small timeframes in terms of which scenario will end up playing out. I am rather focused on the larger timeframe perspective. And as I really like this structure, I really like this setup, and as long as this setup is still holding, I will favor continuation to higher prices, where we could still be looking maybe for even a 50% move up from the current levels. Yes, that is a possibility. Now, before we end the video, I wanted to showcase how the count could work out in the scenario where the wave 3 would have a top in, yes? This larger but still internal wave 3. So, assuming we have a top within this move up, I could actually even remove the internal structure here. I would like to see ideally an ABC pattern within this wave 4. And once I have this in place, I will be looking for the next wave up. This could reach, let's say, $500. It's just a rough idea. It doesn't need to get there. So I would then have this potentially as the main wave 3 of the entire wave 5 complete. But that means that I would still expect a wave 4 and a wave 5 before having the actual top-in within this entire wave 5 up in yellow. Now, to be clear, extensions are possible, and especially within such strong movements, it will not always be clear exactly how many 1-2 setups we would have. So it is possible that we will get additional legs up than we would primarily expect. But this is the main thesis, the main expectation, because I could actually consider this wave 2 to have bottomed here instead. And in that scenario, this wave 3 would most likely not have a top in. No, it would be looking for one additional high, and then we would still need to fill the pattern with a couple of additional 4-5 patterns that could ultimately get us even to $600. I do not know where the price will end up, and frankly nobody does, but this is the area I am looking to head towards. So I definitely favor higher prices. And before I actually end this video, again, the main expectation would actually still be for this wave 4 to form one additional low if the wave 3 top is in. It's not necessary, but I would like to see the levels of resistance broken for a better indication that it will not be the case. So I would be watching for resistance as high as $421.6, where if we get a sustained break above that, it will greatly improve the odds of having a bottom in within this wave 4. So for now, we will stop here. If you want even more from me, even more setups, even more opportunities, you can check out the Patreon. So these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the content and want to support it directly, check out the channel membership, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.